Martin from the Philippines. We're here in Real Talk Lifeline. So, welcome to Podcast Meditations. And we're here with The Way of the Superior Man, episode 21. In the previous episode, we talked about body practices. In this one, we will be talking about body practices on how to open up the body, not just on a physical level, but on a deeper level as well. So, let me share my screen over here. People watching on video, you can follow as well over here. Boom. Let me get this out of the way so you could see more clearly. And I am going to zoom in on full screen. Okay. All right. Let's see. You guys can follow all the okay, all good, all good. So let's begin. Breathe down the front. What does this mean? All men tend to have blocks in the front of the body, of their body. The principal bodily key to mastering the world and women is maintaining a full and open front of the body at all times. The best method is through full and relaxed breathing. Ah, and freeing attention from neurotic self concern. So my quick input on this and why I did that was actually called an ujjayi breath for people who practice yoga. The tendency of what neurotic self-concern is, a lot of the times we're in survival, and it's very natural. It's a human condition. It's human nature to first and foremost think about of our own survival. So we tend to be closed off. What this method is teaching us is how to open our body and our mind, our energy, so we can actually open ourselves to a woman or even the world on a bigger and deeper level. Next line. You counter the effects of accumulated fear and anxiety stored in your body. As I mentioned, when we're constantly in survival, the science behind that is it's that parasympathetic versus the sympathetic system, right? It's the fight or flight. Our body is always in fear, always in anxiety, and this stores up in the body over time. So, any of you who can relate, hashtag relate. I was even given that feedback from a woman that I'm a very fearful person. This bodily practice can actually counter the effect or open ourselves up. Next line, convert into service the energy that is knotting up the front of your body. So, all that heaviness, that tightness, that dark energy, you can actually convert that into service, into light. Your tension is only the energy of a gift that has become backed up, unexpressed in your body. So that's actually a lot of energy stuck in the body. And the good thing is that tension can be converted into something good by expressing it, by opening it, and by doing this body practice. So, how do we do it? If you are alone in your home, you could imagine all the tension in the world and inhale the force of life into this tension to open it up. Then exhale, ah, releasing the tension into love to be dissolved. So these kinds of practices may seem odd to some people, but before you write such practices off as whimsical hokiness, try them, do them, and find out the results for yourself. So, personal experience, I'll say, before I got into my ice bath practices back in November 2021, 3 to 4 years ago, I didn't know what yoga was. I didn't know what Ashtanga, what all this breathwork pranayama was, but I tried it for myself first. And true enough, in my experience, personal experience, they actually work. Next chapter. So remember, we're talking about bodily practice for mature audiences. If you are not mature, feel free to stop listening at this point. So I'm going to give it to you real, raw, authentic. The next chapter is called Ejaculate Up the Spine. So, what does this mean? So, when a guy usually reaches the point of climax, when he comes, ejaculates, usually it's very depleting after finishing, like that, the guy is done. He just wants to sleep. That's it, right? So, what can we do? The line says, convert into energy which deepens, not ends. So, instead of depleting, this can actually give you more energy. So, what does that mean? Instead of tensing your muscles, learn to relax them. Learn to feel your partner more than your own sensations. Breathe fully, deeply, and with great force throughout the day. Next line. Experiencing intense bodily bliss and emotional openness, far beyond quick pleasure and depleted, and also far more healing and enlivening. So this is the opposite. You can actually do this instead of depleting. It gives you more life. If your heart is closed, your energy will be obstructed and you will never be able to convert to love. Remember that your emotional disposition is far more important than the technical exercises themselves. So that's it for this session. Let me come back to you guys. Stop the screen sharing. So that was bodily practices, wrapping up that part of the book for this session, this episode of The Way of the Superior Man. Thank you. I love you. And I will see you next time.